Well guys, we'll pick up where we left off last week. We'd poured that pad and we'd found a bunch of dry rot. So to get things going so we can jack up this side of the house and get things leveled, we have to start by fixing the dry rot issue. So I'm cutting into the siding here to see what we got going on. The rot was pretty bad there in the very corner where it was sitting on top of the concrete. That's what happens when you put unpressure treated boards directly in contact with concrete. So we go about tearing it out and fixing it. Dee Dee's helping me out here. She's doing a good job in the deconstruction team. Here we did a completely new rim joist, and we did a small scab on there to the floor joist as well. And then we went back to cutting and laying block and getting it glued in place and ready to go. I'm sure the step that I'm doing here isn't necessary, but it seemed like a good idea. I'm putting down some alkali resistant tape that you'd use for putting down backer board and that kind of stuff when you do tile. Here we're getting ready to mix up the top bond. When we first started, we just poured it straight in and then we're pouring water on top, and quickly realized that it didn't mix very well. So we started the next batch by pouring a bunch of water in and mixing it after that, and it worked a lot better, a lot more consistent as you mixed it. This is an adhesive mortar, so you can apply it on the exterior applications up to 1/2 inch thick, and it bonds everything together nicely. What we're doing next here is we're wetting everything down just to keep it from sucking all the moisture out of the concrete, or out of the top and bond.
Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe. Wow, that's gonna look really nice. You can see it already.
So first starting out, I was kind of gingerly putting it on, and I quickly realized that you just got to start slapping it up there, and it works a lot better. So primarily what we did is I put the bulk of it on, got it going, then Dee Dee did all the finish work on it. And she said the difference between me and you is I make this look good. So she did a good job. I got it up there and she did the finish. So this was the world's worst mud board because it was floppy as can be, but I just kind of put it on that so I get it over and get it close, and then just started pushing a bunch of the mud over and off. And this seemed to work pretty good. Just get a bunch of mud at the bottom and then start pushing it up the wall. And what I was shooting for when it was all said and done was something that was like 3/8 to 1/2 inch thick. It's not recommended for this product to go over 1/2 inch, but that's what we were shooting for. It was right up in that range, 3/8 to 1/2 inch. And so what I'm doing is just kind of working it from that puddle at the bottom, kind of working up the wall and trying to get it to sticking it here. And it takes a little practice, but As soon as you think you have it, you end up lifting your trowel and pulling a big chunk off the wall. Now, supposedly with this product, if you coat both sides of the concrete block, you can get away with dry stacking. I didn't feel comfortable with that on a foundation, so I went ahead and adhered all the blocks together before we applied this. And we're going to go ahead and do top and bottom on both sides. Overkill, I'm sure. And overnight something came through and stepped in it, of course, so we had to fix that. That's our cat print. And that was a big print. We'd put our dog away, and I don't know what made that. So, yeah, if you got any ideas, let me know.
Hello. I only got one bed this year. It's a Hugel culture bed, which is an experiment for me because I've not done that before. But it is doing amazing, and I don't have to water it like once a week. And we are in a really hot, dry area with very low humidity, so even with that, I still am only watering like once a week. So it's doing amazing.
We got a very late start again, as we did every year, it seems like, but the gardens go along marvelously. I don't even think we've had to weed a single weed out of here. It's just growing like crazy up and through the shavings. These are some cedar shavings we threw down from leftover milling for the front boards on the cabin.
Right in there. You see the red one? Why that one is red, I don't know. It's way in there.
We had to do some clearing here around the cabin to clean up the old foundation and get it ready for a skim coat of top bond as well. So what I'm doing here is pulling out a big old root wad from around the cabin.
You got it! You're not gonna get far. It's still attached to the car. Stop. What are you doing? You could have it if you let us unhook it. Oh my gosh. You're something else.
Well, we ended up having to jack up the cabin about 3 inches on this corner over here. It seemed to fall pretty quick in that corner, so we're just cleaning up the blocking and jacks and everything that we had strewn around under the house from all that fun. And then we cut some blocks right here, and then we were looking at floating across underneath the door and kind of smoothing it into the existing foundation. And there's a little access on this side. There's a big one on the other side as well, but that's actually bigger than most accesses I've been in. I've crawled in a lot of houses before. And working our way around with the product. Dee Dee's doing a good job here, doing some decorative-ish looking stuff over top of the existing block that was there. Sure made that old block look nice and kind of pop. And of course the obligatory Robert and Dee Dee. In love. Alright, here's a final look at it. We still got a little bit to button up, but we are 99.9% done with the foundation on this cabin, and it feels amazing. So we'll leave you with these shots, and then a look at our cat having a standoff with the chickens. You guys have a good night.